Today is my born day. It's not my birthday, it's my born day. Because a birthday is what they put on a cake. A born day is what you study. And I've been studying this for a long time now. Let's do the math. I was born on March 14, 1977. I need you to slow down and look at that date with me. Because the universe does not play games and it makes no accidents. March 14th, written numerically, is 314. That's pi, not the dessert, the constant, pi, pi. That's the mathematical ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. It's a number that mathematicians have calculated past 100 trillion decimal places, and it has never repeated. It has never resolved, and it just keeps going with absolute relentless precision into infinity. I was born on the date of an infinite, non-repeating, irrational constant. Think about what that means for a man who is striving. You are a finite body, but you are built for infinite expansion in discipline, in faith, and in influence. So you never really fully arrive. You never fully complete. You just keep going precisely into more. And that's not a metaphor. That is geometry of my existence stamped into the date that I was born. Now, stay with me. We're gonna go a little bit deeper. The circle, pi, describes the relationship between the boundary of a circle and its center. So every point on that circumference is exactly equidistant from the center. That is not just geometry. In Islam, it's what we call tawaf. 7 circuits around the Kaaba. When you make tawaf, you are not walking randomly. You're calculating your relationship to the center of your theology. You are orbiting the house of Allah the way that electrons orbit a nucleus, the way that planets orbit a star. The circumference expands and the center holds. Pi is what describes that relationship. Now for me at 49, I am the circumference of a circle, and the center has always been Allah. Now I want to take y'all on an odyssey with me to just really go into the numbers of my birth year. Pull the 7s out of that year. 7, 9, 7, 7. In supreme mathematics, 7 is God. And in every sacred tradition that ever produced wisdom, 7 is the number of completion. 7 heavens, 7 earths, 7 verses in Al-Fatiha, 7 tawaf circuits, 7 days in the structure of creation. 7 is the architecture of a finished thing. It just is. And then we go to 9. 9 is born. 9 is the culmination before rebirth. 9 months in the womb. 9 is what comes right before the new cycle begins. So 1977 gives me 7, then 9, then 7, 7, back to back. A completion, a culmination, and then a double completion. I was born into the arithmetic of a full cycle. And then there is 49 itself. 49. 49 is 7 times 7. 49 is 7 squared. A completion of completion. A cycle raised to its own power. And this is not astrology, no knock, but that's not it. This is mathematics. 7 times 7 equals the maturity of all cycles. But I need to tell y'all something that kind of shook me when I sat with it, right? In the ancient law given to the Israelites, Leviticus 25, there is a command. You count 7 cycles of 7 years. That's 49. And the 50th year, the year that follows the completion of completion, you remember what that's called? Got to open up your books, your Bibles. That's called the Jubilee, the year of release, the year of liberation from all debt, from all bondage, all accumulation that no longer serves the man or the community. The year everything resets at a higher level. I'm at year 49. I am not at the finish line. I am standing at the gate of the Jubilee. The question that I am living with right now is not what I've built. The question is what I release in the year 50 so the next cycle begins clear. Now I want to take y'all somewhere with me that made me deeply uncomfortable when I sat with it. If you know me, you've been rocking with me, you know that I am not one to back away from anything that's discomforting. I run to it, head first, right? Now, this is my 49th year, and there is a surah in the Quran, number 49, called Al-Hujurat, the chambers. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's a coincidence. There are no coincidences in the architecture of Allah. Everything is intellectually calibrated. Al-Hujurat is not a surah about paradise or punishment. It's a surah about how you conduct yourself inside your community. It's a surah about the internal structure of a sovereign people. Every verse in it is a mirror that I have to hold up to my life this year right here. When a source of questionable character brings you news, investigate before you move and cause harm that you will regret. Let me be honest with myself and with y'all. A reactive man is running on adrenaline. A verified man is running on information. Those are two different biological states. Cortisol versus clarity. And the gap in between them is where the most damage in relationships are. In businesses and communities, like all of that, that's where all the damage is done. I have not always operated from the verified state, I have to be honest. Not always. This year, I'm auditing that and I'm correcting that. Let's go to verse 9. When two groups within a believing community conflict, bring them together with justice, not with authority, but with justice. Here is a distinction that hit me hard. Authority says, I decide because I lead. That's it. Shut up. Because I said so. It's not the vibration. Justice says, I investigate because Allah is watching how I decide. A king rules his territory. A sovereign answers to a law higher than himself. Sacred Society, Ambrosia Collective, my children, my relationships, the circles that I move in, they do not need my authority. They need my justice. Now let's go to verse 12. Avoid suspicion, avoid backbiting, avoid spying on one another. I gotta be direct and straightforward. The backbiting that shows up in circles do not start with the person doing it. It starts with the architecture of the circle. Suspicion breeds environments where the hierarchy is just not clear. It's where competition has no covenant underneath it, where people do not know the standards. So if my environment produces that behavior, my environment needs redesigning. I cannot keep addressing the symptom and leaving the system intact. Now, when we go to verse 13, we were made into nations and tribes so that we may know one another. The most honored among you in the sight of Allah is the one with the most taqwa. So for those of you who don't know what taqwa is, I'll explain. Taqwa is not meekness. It's not to be timid. Taqwa is the constant act of awareness that you are being observed by a being whose measurement is more precise than pi. It removes the audience variable from your decision making. The man with taqwa, with consciousness of God, makes the same decision in public that he makes in private, because there's no version of private where he is not being seen. This is God consciousness. That's not a religious concept. That is integrity, okay? That's just running on a different operating system. Now, let me bring this all the way back home. A man that's 29, he builds. He's stacking bricks in the dark. He does not know yet what the building will look like. He just knows that he got to keep stacking, keep building. When a man gets 39, he starts to expand. He starts to see the structure. He starts to move into new territories, but with intention. He's no longer just surviving, he is scaling. A man at 49 refines and institutionalizes. He does not build new things carelessly. He builds things that outlast him. He stops being a person doing work and becomes a system producing people who do work. The mission becomes bigger than the man. I'm 49 years old today. I have 4 children, Elijah, Kaya, Shiron, Ivy. Everything that I do from this point forward gets filtered through one question. Does this build a world that they are proud to inherit? I run the Sacred Society. That's a mentorship community built for men and women who are just done with mediocrity and ready for the real work. I run Alpha Shred, a training platform that is built on performance science. I run my online training business. I am a partner in the Ambrosia Collective, and I'm launching Magic Mushroom Coffee because I'm not slowing down. I'm expanding exactly the way the universe demands. And inshallah, in just a couple months, I'll be getting married. I'm not giving you a highlight reel. I'm giving you a map. I'm showing you the math of how one life can be built with intention, with theology, with discipline, and with a refusal to shrink. Pi does not resolve. It keeps going and it goes precisely. I intend to do the same. But I got one thing for y'all. I want you to do this. Sit down with your own birthday, not the date they put on the cake, the numbers themselves. Break them down. What do they tell you? What surah corresponds to your age right now? Open it. Read every verse out loud. After each one, ask, where in my life this week has this verse been violated? Write down the violations, not the victories. That is your audit. That is how a sovereign closes a cycle and opens the next one clean. Once again, Assalamu Alaikum.